A very good morning, student. Today I am going to start our biology class, chapter 13. Why do we fall ill? Today, in this chapter, we will learn about the infectious agent of the disease and how the disease will spread. Then, disease will affect the specific organs and how we can prevent or do the treatment for the disease. Okay? Infectious agents. What are infectious agents? An infectious agent is something that infiltrates another living things like human. When an infectious agent hits a right, humans have officially become an infected host. There are four main classes of infectious agents. These are bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. So what is the infectious agents? Infectious agents are some microorganisms when they enter into the living organism, and they used to live and survive in the living organisms. When they enter in the living organism, they cause a disease in the human body, and that human is officially become an infected host. Infected host means any organism, if it enter, or any germs if it enter into the body of any living organism, then that living organism is called as the host. Okay, so this infected agents are of mainly four types. These are bacteria, viruses, fungi, and parasites. Now, what type of disease they cause in our body? Helminth's bacteria cause disease like typhoid, cholera, tuberculosis, anthrax, pimples, and peptic ulcer. These are caused by the bacteria. Common cold, influenza, dengue, fever, SARS, and AIDS are caused by virus. Fungi cause skin infection, protozoa cause malaria, Kala Azar and sleeping sickness caused by the protozoa. Helminth's worm cause intestinal infection or elephantiasis. So these are the diseases that caused by the bacteria, virus, fungi, and the parasites. Okay, so that Helminth's worm is a parasite which are a living organism which survive on the other living organisms, and they can get their food from the other living organisms, and this can cause an intestine infection. They used to live inside our intestine and they cause the infections there. And what is the elephantiasis? It is one disease. It is caused by the worm, Helminth's worm. And what will happen here? The leg of a human beings will be swelling up. It's become a very big swelling up, and it's look like a elephant leg. That's why it is called as a elephantiasis. Next, means of spread. How the disease is spread? Infectious diseases are spread through microbial organisms from a infected person to a healthy person. So they are also called communicable disease. Microorganisms are transmitted through physical contact, air, water, and vector. So infectious diseases are one. It is a spread through the microbial organisms from a infected persons to the healthy persons. It is due to it is from the small very microorganisms are there, so it can be infected from a it can be spread from an infected person to a healthy person. Microorganisms are transmitted through physical contact, air, water, and vector. Okay, vector. Airborne disease. These are the diseases transmitted through air. Microorganisms are transmitted in the form of droplet in the air. Example, common cold, pneumonia, and tuberculosis. So airborne disease are the diseases which are transmitted through the air. Here the microorganisms are transfer from one person to another in the form of a water droplets in the air. Water droplets which are present in the air, that means the humidity which are present in the air, with that humidity only it will be transmit from one person to another. Examples are common cold, pneumonia and tuberculosis. Common cold, pneumonia and tuberculosis are transmitted from one person to another. Waterborne diseases. These occur if the excreta from someone suffering from a infected guts disease such as cholera get mixed with the drinking water used by people living nearby. So especially in the village areas, people used to drink the water from the river. Okay, so if some people are infected from any disease, any communicable disease, and that people excrete nearby the river or bank of the river, and the other people, the healthy people, are taking or drinking the water from that river, then they are also that disease will be spread to them. Okay. Physical contact. These are the diseases transmitted through direct contact. Example, AIDS is transmitted through blood. Blood contact with infected people or from an infected mother to her child during pregnancy. AIDS is also transmitted through intimate contact between partners. So AIDS, physical contact, in physical contact, what will happen? If the two persons are physically contact, then this disease will transmitted from one person to another. Okay. So in the case of an example it is given here, then AIDS is transmitted through the blood. So if any infected person, if any person is infected from the AIDS and somehow his blood is taken out and injected to another person, those who are healthy, then that healthy person will be carry the disease. They will infected from this disease. Or in the case of a mother, if the mother is suffering from the AIDS and mother is pregnant, then the child will get the disease from the mother. Okay. Or it will be transmitted from a intimate contact between the partners. If they will contact intimate contact, then it will be transferred from one person to another. Next one is vectors. The most common carriers or vectors that transfer microorganisms from one human being to another are female mosquitoes, dogs, hens, etc. Example, rabies virus transmitted by dog and cat's bite. So some vectors means that some agents, some animals or some organisms, those which can carry the disease from one person to another, like mosquito carries the malaria disease from the infected person, and if that same mosquito will bite the another person, the healthy person, then that person will carry the disease. Okay. Like dog also, if dog bites any person, so it causes the rabies disease. So that animals from which we will carrying the disease are called as the vectors. Then organ specific and tissue specific manifestation. Now we'll learn organ specific and tissue specific manifestations. There are many places, organs or tissue, where this microorganism could go. Symptoms tell us about the target organ infected. Target organ means where the particular organs where the microorganism infected, that is called the target organs. Malaria causing microbes entering through a mosquito bites will go to the liver and then to the red blood cells. So malaria, it is caused by the microbe. First it will enter through a mosquito bites and it will go to the liver, then it will go to the red blood cells. Okay. The sign and symptom of a disease will depend on the tissue or organ which microbe targets. If the liver is targeted, there will be jaundice. If the brain is the target, we will observe headache, vomiting, fits or unconsciousness. So, the sign and symptom of the disease are dependent on the tissue or the organs which microbes targets. Okay. So it is dependent on the target organisms or tissue what type of symptoms will show. If the microbes will affect or microbes will target the liver, then there will be jaundice. And if it will target the brain, then we will suffer from the headache, sometimes vomiting, not well, or unconscious, or sometimes we will fall down, okay, faint. An active immune system recruits many cells to the affected tissue to kill off the disease-causing microbes. This recruitment process is called inflammation. The severity of the disease manifestation depends on the number of microbes surviving in the body. Now, principles of treatment and prevention. Here we will learn about the principles of treatment and the prevention. There are two ways to treat an infectious disease. There are how many ways? Two ways are there to treat the infectious disease. One would be to reduce the effect of the disease, and the other to kill cause of the disease. So here two ways are there. One way is what? To reduce the effect, to decrease the effect of the disease, and the another one to kill the cause of the disease. Antibiotics are the drugs used to treat the disease caused by bacteria, fungi, and protozoa. So antibiotics are the drugs or medicines which can use to do the treatment of the disease caused by the bacteria, fungi, and protozoa. Example, penicillin. Antiviral drugs are the medicines used to treat disease caused by virus. So antiviral drugs, medicines is the medicines which is used to treat the disease caused by the virus. These drugs are difficult to be prepared in compared to antibacterial drugs. So these antiviral drugs are difficult to prepare in compared to the antibacterial drugs. Despite this limitation, there are now effective antiviral drugs. For example, the drugs that keep HIV infection under control. So after that also it is very difficult to prepare, but after that also there is a antiviral drugs are there, very effective antiviral drugs are there. Okay, so for example, there is a drugs for the HIV infection that can keep the HIV infection under control. It cannot cure, it will be not cure the HIV virus, but it can control the HIV virus to spread. There are two ways, one general and one specific, to prevent disease. And for preventing also there is a two ways. One is the general way and one is the specific way. The general way of preventing infections mostly related to preventing infections. Airborne microorganisms can be prevented by providing living conditions which are not overcrowded. Waterborne organisms can be prevented by providing safe drinking water. Vector-borne disease can be prevented by providing clean environment. Public hygiene is one basic step in the prevention of infectious diseases. Availability of proper and sufficient food can prevent infectious diseases. Immunizations through vaccines in specific way of preventing diseases. Example, vaccine against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, measles, and polio, etc. So here are the preventions. One is what? We can prevent the airborne microorganism by providing a living conditions, not overcrowded, means we cannot go in the overcrowded living living conditions. Okay, waterborne, we can provide a safe water for drinking, like that we can prevent the waterborne diseases. Vector-borne diseases we can prevent by providing clean environment. Our environment should be clean. Public hygiene is one basic step in the prevention of infectious disease. So public hygiene means public areas also should be clean, that then it will be prevent of the infectious disease. Now look students, now here the lockdown, so long lockdown we are getting for what? One disease, no? And it is caused by the virus disease. So how can we save ourselves? By making a distance from the people. That means we cannot enter. We have to save ourselves, but not by not entering in the crowded place. If we will enter in the crowded place, maybe the virus will enter in our body through the air. And we have to, that's why it said that we have to maintain a distance from the people. We cannot go the over crowded place. Okay, so now we are already facing one problems that due to the virus. Clear? So this is the things how we can will prevent ourselves from infectious diseases. Okay, and here specific reason, specific way of preventing us from the diseases, one immunizations. That means vaccines. We have to take the vaccines for the some particular diseases. Okay, so we can, by taking the vaccines, we can prevent ourselves from the different diseases. Examples are what? Vaccine against tetanus, diphtheria, whooping cough, measles and polio, etc. Now scientists are researching to find out, or trying a very hard work to find out the disease for the coronavirus also. Okay, hope we will get in our future, so that virus, that vaccines also will be come in our life. Clear? Okay, so that's all for the today's class, and here are some questions, home assignment questions for you. Write down the questions, write down the answer of the following questions and send me in the Google Classroom or in the WhatsApp group. Clear? This question I will send you again in the group, but here the questions are here, so you can write down the answers and send me in the group. Clear children? Thank you and have a nice day.